Hello, my name is Patrick Howard Hengstler, and welcome back to the Talking Kappa podcast of the new beta chapter of Kappa Psi. So here today, somebody that I have known for like 7 years, 8 years now, something like that. Oh my gosh. So I'm here with brother Alison Riling, and it just so happens that at her time at FAU, she actually interned at my high school as a music education major. So, hi, Allison, how are you?
Hi, Patrick. I'm doing well, and yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm really glad to be talking with you today, actually. Um, I really wanted to get into what you thought the process. Actually, before I even start with that, where are you actually from? What high school did you go to?
Mhm.
And introduce this adorable little fluff ball you have with us today.
All right. I am from Miami, Florida originally. I went to Florida Christian School. It's a small Christian school in the heart of Miami. Um, this little guy here is Benjamin Milton Riling Borbeau. He is he'll be 4 months at the end of this month. Um, he's my little pride and joy. Hopefully you might hear a couple sounds out of him, but hopefully he'll behave.
That's awesome. That's great. Um, so, just for people who don't know, Allison obviously became a mom 4 months ago, which is awesome, wonderful. I love it. I love it. You can't really see the baby, but obviously I could see him, and I'm oh God, I'm enjoying myself. He's too cute. He's too cute. Oh man.
He's
Oh.
all right.
Um. So what year did you actually start at FAU?
I started in fall of 2010 and I graduated spring of 2014. So I'm one of the few 4.5 year people.
Uh, I'm on I'm on year six.
There you go. Hey, you got to work at your own pace. It is
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah. So speaking on that, when did you actually be initiated, and what class were you?
So I was initiated in November of 2013, so fall 2013,
Hmm.
and I am part of the IOTAs.
Ooh, iota.
Yes, and I am a panda line.
See, I used to be a ninja. Now I'm not. I'm a
Well, yeah,
Thunderbird.
our line's kind of weird too, where the pandas came from the snake, so I'm kind of a panda snake, but mostly a panda.
Hmm. Gotcha. Um, so let's talk
Brother
about.
Vladimirski is my big.
Oh, brother Vladimir Caesar Big. He actually was in the chapter and he graduated uh,
Wow.
last semester, I think. Yeah,
Oh, awesome. Cool.
2 semesters ago, something like that.
Yeah.
Um, so a lot of our core values, we feel in the chapter haven't been really looked at with a just blank eye. I would almost say that we need to
Hmm.
honestly continue pushing for our core values of brotherhood, leadership,
Hmm.
service, and musicianship. And so
Hmm.
I have a couple questions about, first of all, which pillar do you think you align with right now in your life? And I know we're all supposed to be aligning with all four pillars, don't get me wrong. Um,
Yeah.
but what do you honestly feel right now that is resonating with you between the four pillars?
Um, that's tough.
Yeah.
Being a stay-at-home mom right now. Um, well, so my current job, so even though I'm a stay-at-home mom, I work at home. I still work. I went from full-time to part-time, but I feel like I've always been kind of a service driven person.
Hmm.
And I mean, even since I was a kid, you know? And so I think when I was um, going through, rushing and all of that, I think that's the one that I kind of stuck to the most, even though you're supposed to, represent all four. That's the one that I kind of just lived by because I related so much. Like it made sense. It clicked to me like, oh, wait, there's more people in the world that do stuff like that.
Right.
But so with my career, my put on hold career, really, my friendships, my family, and everything, I'm still very, very much a service driven person. Um, I try to help, not in a sense right now, obviously not in the band world, but I just try to do my part and help because I feel like can't go wrong in being a good person and trying to make everyone else's lives a little easier or better.
Yeah.
So that's probably what I relate to right now. And like I said, it's kind of hard right now that I'm not in the really the real world. I'm stuck at home.
Right. Well, we're all kind of still a little
That's true.
stuck.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
world ended.
The world did end. Yes, here we are. We're living 2020 part two.
Yeah.
No, I think personally for me, service has really resonated with me also. Um,
Hmm.
Obviously, I'm doing this podcast not to honor myself, but honor everyone before us, and like how the New Beta chapter is still doing now today is because of, I don't want to say the end result of other people before us, but I think everybody has a hand in hand in that. Um,
Yeah.
but
Well, for as long as I've known you, you've always been service driven, so that makes sense.
oh man, that makes me feel better about myself a little bit.
I
uh,
remember senior in high school, Patrick. So.
oh God, that's almost been 10 years at this point. Oh my
Hmm.
God. And now I'm an inch taller and I have a beard. This is so different. I don't know how to.
There you go. Mind blowing.
but but to go back on just your journey in FAU and actually immediately after, what did you notice that the things that you learned within the chapter had helped you in your future, or I would say in your current future or current life right now?
Yeah. Um, well, actually, it's just basically, I know it's not considered like a team, it's more of a brotherhood, but just being a team player and being receptive to um, different opinions, different ideas, and also, yeah, exactly. And also being receptive to asking for help and receiving help from others. I think that's something that's big in the brotherhood. We're constantly servicing, the band program as a whole on campus. But I think that kind of bled into, when I started teaching, right out of, I graduated and went straight into a teaching job at a position that was really difficult and very far away. I mean, I moved from Boca Raton to Tallahassee, Florida. Didn't really know many people here. And so just asking for help, I joined um, the FBA here in town, or I guess our district, and just asking questions, asking for advice. The social network platforms with the Brotherhood, both our chapter alone as well as like the whole Southeastern Division. There were so many people that were so willing to give advice and offer. I saw the times between like all the hurricanes and stuff, people just saying, hey, if anyone needs a place to stay, if anyone needs me to come and help out, like let me know, and I think that's huge, just the brotherhood as a whole,
Yeah.
just the support. And you never realize how much support you need until you're off on your own, kind of it's like a make it or break it situation, a brand new band director in the world thinking I knew everything, nothing. So
I think it's apparent that like a lot of the things that you've gone through already in your life is just showing why we do the things that we do, like
absolutely.
why we actually are a service fraternity trying to make the betterment of musicians and bands and honoring those
Hmm.
those people. Um, I,
Absolutely.
I think when we get back into the idea of you're never going to be alone, you're always going to have this brotherhood no matter what. No matter where you go, you're going to find a brother. It's just one of those things. It's like, oh, are you? Yeah. Oh, come here. It's just
Oh yeah.
one of those things. And
Well, what's pretty cool for me too is so I don't know how many people know this about me, but I went from music education to music therapy, and going to music therapy conferences I actually met brothers too. And I was like, hey, you're in the same boat as me. You kind of do both.
yeah,
So that was cool too. And the people that I would have never met, we were in like the middle of like Dallas, Texas, and it was pretty neat. Just having those connections everywhere you go. There's someone that and even though you've never met them before, you know them, and you've got that connection and that support instantly built. So
exactly. I think it's funny that actually this last FMEA that I went to in 2019, I was actually not a brother yet. I was in the process. Well, I actually was in the process of just starting at FAU. So there's that. But on top of
yeah.
trying to do that, I knew there were brothers all around. I think they started singing in the middle of the convention center at one point. I was like, wow.
Yep.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
pretty neat when you see that happen, huh?
A little bit, a little bit. I haven't really experienced it myself.
Yeah, you will.
Hopefully. um, when when you actually got out of FAU,
Mhm.
I know that you're actually mentioning music therapy that you got. I assume you're a graduate assistant kind of deal at FSU. Am I wrong? I could be completely
So
wrong.
it actually, yeah, they don't do graduate assistance for music therapy program. They do it for the doctoral program, but not for masters.
Hmm.
So I came to Tallahassee, I taught, and I, being one of the best programs for music therapy in the country, I kind of was exposed to a bunch of people in the music therapy world and realized, hey, this is something pretty neat. I mean, it's, back to that service thing, it's like
Yeah.
it's 100% it's a service kind of environment and career. And so I started learning more about it, and I was like, hey, I want to do that. So I started my master's degree there, but yet all out of pocket slash student loans.
I am not jealous. Oh
You shouldn't be.
man.
I wouldn't trade the experience for the world though,
No.
but
Experience
I don't want to
always.
talk about the kind of debt.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, okay. So I have a couple questions here that I actually wanted to ask you personally.
All right.
What was probably your greatest memory with the chapter? Just like any random point that you just thought, wow, that was really like a great moment.
So I rushed kind of late in my schooling. Like I was like not even a year away from graduating, kind of a deal. I was a
Mm,
special case. But I was always hanging around all the brothers, and just kind of one of those things where if it wasn't an official event, I was there anyway, kind of a deal. Um, but what was super cool for me was, so we were in the middle of the rushing process when I had my senior recital. I think like I crossed over like a week after the recital or something like that. But I thought it was really cool that there were so many brothers, people that I've never even like really talked to. You try to talk to everybody, but it's hard.
it's hard. Yeah.
And yeah, yeah, but there were so many brothers that showed up to the recital, and I thought that was the coolest thing because I was already nervous that as it is because I am not a performer in any means of the word, but I thought it was really cool to have just that support. And I looked out into the audience right before starting, and I was like, oh wow, there's a lot more people here than I thought would be. And then I saw it was everybody from the Brotherhood, and I thought that was pretty neat because I mean, it shows right there that you've got the support, like I was saying, the support without really asking for it, or even though you didn't think you needed it.
Yeah. It's like
So that was probably a good memory for me.
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Another thing was just seeing all the brothers always bringing water to marching band practice. It's
That's
the little things.
it's the little things that count.
Yeah.
I'm
Like, oh
dying
wait,
in
I
this.
forgot my water bottle. Yeah.
I'm dying in the set. Thank you very much.
Yes.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I actually don't remember if I actually was at your senior recital. I don't think I was. No.
I
Was
don't
it?
think you were. You were.
I was a little boy.
Were you? Yeah. I don't think you were at FAU yet. Were you?
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
no.
that's right. Because you didn't. Yeah. Because I hadn't even met you yet.
You're seeing. Oh, that's
I'm.
true because your senior recital was in the fall, and yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I met you 2 months later.
Wow.
Don't worry. You didn't miss out on that on anything really. A lot of wrong notes, I'm sure.
Yeah, sometimes the wrong notes are the good notes.
Right?
Yeah, you know.
Isn't that what jazz is?
Jazz, yeah. No, no, no. All right. I also had this. I wrote it all down because I came prepared.
Hey,
So,
that's you've grown then since being a
wow,
senior in high
wow,
school.
call me out in the middle of the interview. Being prepared. Listen, I've actually learned to be prepared in these past 7 years, and it's if you don't prepare, you're just not going to do well in anything.
You don't stand a chance. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm
Um,
glad to see that.
oh, thanks. It isn't just the beard that has grown. um, for I know we're not supposed to have like favorite professors. Wow, that was a
Mm.
Freudian slip. Pat professors? Pat professors? Really? Really? Okay. Um, but who would you say you remember that was really influential? This music professors or any professors really you had at FAU?
It would 100% be Dr. Prescott. And reason being, I mean, one, I was so engrossed in one ensemble, and so when I wasn't doing anything productive, I was in the office trying to find something productive to help him. but um, but really, what stuck with me the most was when I graduated. The countless of emails that I would send him, help me, how do I do this? And he would respond. Even though it wasn't his duty to take care of me anymore because I should have figured out how to be a band director on my own by then. He was very, very helpful. And to this day, if I were to ask him a question about music education, or sometimes it's how do you not drive yourself crazy, you know? And he
Yeah.
would always answer, is very supportive. And I mean, Dr. Murray was like that too. I didn't interact with him as much, just being, I wasn't in the marching band as long as some were. But it'd probably have to be Dr. Prescott. I'm sure he won't hear this, but if he does, thank you, Dr.
Oh,
Prescott.
oh, you would be so wrong.
Wonderful.
Dr. Prescott has been very supportive with everything so far, and it's been absolutely,
Good,
yeah,
good,
yeah.
good.
Um, on the same, actually, subject,
Mm-hmm.
I also would agree that Dr. Prescott has been a very supportive professor in my time here at FAU. And I would say
Yeah,
that in the past, I don't know, 7 years of my life.
yeah.
I, okay, it's not about me right now, but here we go.
Go for it.
I applied to FAU 4 times. I got in the fourth time. I actually got denied the second time the same day I graduated high school, so that was fun.
I think I remember that.
I remember texting you about it, and I didn't feel good. But here I am
Yeah.
now. But the time I had to learn to get here, and all the
Mm-hmm.
things that I've done now, I've done because you've helped me become where I am right now. You've been a major component of my life, and that's why I wanted to talk to you. Like one of the
Awesome.
first 5 people wanted to talk to you. And Benjamin, where he's chilling. He's nobody can see
Oh
this, but he's chilling.
yeah.
He's hanging out.
He hasn't started screaming yet, so that's a
Oh
good sign.
my, that's good. That's good. I'm gonna start screaming a little bit because Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh man. So, since your time away from FAU, so you
Hmm.
graduated in the spring of 2014. So did I.
Hmm.
Whoa, look at that. Um,
That's true.
what are some of the most like life-changing moments you've had? I know that's a big loaded question, but
Yeah. All right. Well, so I graduated in May of 2014. In June of 2014, I found out I had thyroid cancer. Mind you, it was like 2 weeks after signing a contract for a job in Tallahassee. Yeah. And so yeah, I got a job pretty quick out of graduating. So I guess I was lucky in that aspect. But then I found out I had the cancer, and then I wasn't sure if I was going to be continuing the job. I didn't know, the C word is kind of scary.
Yeah.
And so just trying to figure out, was I staying home? Was I going to go? But I ended up having surgery 2 weeks later. At my 2-week appointment, said I was good to go, got in the car and drove to Tallahassee to start my life. So then I started here. I grew up in a Christian school, at least through high school, and was starting to teach at a Christian school. And I mean, there's pros and cons to all of that. Long story short, the job was not what I was told it was going to be. The students that I was supposed to have was not at all the situation. I pretty much started the program, I think, having, it was like 10 or 12 students. And that's from 6th to 12th grade.
Okay.
And then it was really challenging because I didn't realize I was going into a program that I needed to build. And on top of needing to build it, having the restrictions that I had, which I won't go into details, but you pretty much couldn't do anything. But
Yeah.
there was 3 years at that school, and it was very challenging emotionally, physically, mentally, all that good stuff. Loved the kids, loved the parents. But then if you've met me, my personality is not a harsh one. It's not, I don't like being the disciplinary person. I don't like yelling. I don't like having to deal with any kind of confrontation, really. Yeah. And so that's when I found out about music therapy. I was like, that's more my speed. And just, I'm a very empathetic person, or at least that's what I'm told. Very empathetic.
I agree.
Which, well, thank you. Which, in the classroom could be a negative, I feeding off of certain emotions going on in the classroom, letting things taking things personally and all of that. So that was really challenging for me because since 8th grade, I was like, I'm going to be a band director. And that's just kind of, I lived my life like, I'm going to be a band director. And I didn't think of any other options. I didn't know that anything else existed out there for me. So when I was teaching and then I realized, hey, this isn't working, I'm pulling my hair out, I'm very unhappy. It was kind of scary because I was like, I worked my whole life for this, and now what happens next? And to not know what is next after thinking you knew what is next the entire time of your life is pretty rough.
It's like
but
those life humbling moments, I guess.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
which Dr. Prescott helped me get through a lot of those times. So thank you again, Dr. Prescott. But then I started the music therapy program, and I mean, I soared through that. Like I just, I don't know if I'm lucky or what, but the guitar skills came, all the hands-on, practicums, and which are like mini internships that I did were just, I did amazing. And I felt like I was sucking the whole time, but they kept telling me I was doing amazing. So I just kept with it. And so I was like, okay, this is exactly what I'm meant to do, and I did an internship, and the internship went so well. And then I took the exam, which I'm a really bad test taker. If you don't know that about me, a very, very bad test taker, which I blame my anxiety. But I failed that test 3 times now. Mind you, it is a $400 test just about every time you take it. And I failed them by 5 points, by 3 points, and by 1 point.
Oh.
So that's another humbling moment in my life where, all my professors and everything are telling me, the material, what you're supposed to do, you got this. And then I can't pass the stupid test. But then I had a baby. So I still haven't passed that test.
Moral of the story, Just have a baby. It makes everything
Just
work.
have a baby. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
No,
but
I'm actually in the process of studying for that test again, but I'm not in a rush at this time, and that's okay. This is, you know, yeah, just, life takes you where it wants. And right now, my calling is to be a mom.
I, I think I think just me witnessing your life from afar and actually hearing
Hmm.
about the situations that you've gone through so far. I mean, like
Hmm.
a very different person than I was 2014. I think we all can agree ourselves about that. Um, I just think from my perspective, looking at your life from afar, just like Facebook posts and stuff like that, it really just seems like the, not things haven't gone your way. Just there's been a lot
They've
on
gone
your
a different way.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's not bad. I mean, listen, you have a baby. You're in a loving relationship, I assume.
Yes.
Or,
Very loving.
yeah. So, and I think personally for myself that it's been very inspiring for me in my own journey because I have definitely not, and that's my dog being very vocal in a very emotional point in my life right now. Wow, oh my gosh, he's supporting me. He's supporting me, man.
Yes, he is.
uh,
He's just feeling it.
yeah, you know, it's okay. It's life, life sneak up on you sometimes, and that's okay. Um,
Exactly.
but I think honestly and truly that you've inspired me as a human being in these past I don't know how many years apart from you or just talking from you. I mean, I don't know. I've definitely did a non-traditional path in my own life, and that's perfectly fine. And I think that we all need to take the time what we need to take the time to do. I want to be the human being
Mhm.
without you. I want to be the human being without what I've gone through in my life already. So I'm okay.
Absolutely.
I'm okay with graduating at 27. If you're listening to this and you're not, and you're thinking about graduating or going to school and you're like old, just do it. Live your life, man. Live your life.
Exactly. Go for it, man. You got to do what's best for you.
Exactly. And I think that's what KKSI has really helped me with. Just realizing the potential that we all have in each other and that kind of this loving relationship you can have with anyone, no matter the odds.
Hmm.
That's what I truly believe. And I think
Absolutely.
you exemplify that in my life so much that I just wanted to thank you. And yeah, here I
Well,
am.
that actually makes me feel really good because, a lot of times you don't really know, if you made an impact on anybody.
Yeah,
So I'm glad to hear that, Patrick. It
that's awesome.
makes me feel honored.
um, I just wanted to let you know and thank you for being on the Talking Cap podcast of the Mu Beta chapter, Kappa Psi. I think it's been wonderful talking to you, and I think I'm going to be talking to you much more later anyway, because that's just what's going to happen, most likely.
Exactly. Yes. It's an honor to be invited to talk on this. Would you call it a podcast?
Definitely a podcast. Definitely a podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you, Allison. Thank you for talking with me for this good time. I enjoyed it. I
No
loved it.
problem. I did too. It's good to catch up.
Yeah. All right, Allison.